Well, good afternoon. Thank you for being here today. I'm Ryan Head, the director of the Ada County Highway District. I'll provide a quick briefing and then we will open the floor to questions from the media. I'll start by saying that our agency and our partners here today, ITD, Ada County, and the ACHD Commission are committed to transparency, and we will provide you with the information as we know it. We ask for your patience and understanding as we continue to gather and interpret information. We have made the decision to close the Eckert Road Bridge effective immediately. This decision comes after receiving the results of the most recent inspection. The results that the most recent inspection revealed widespread structural decay that poses a possible risk to public safety. This inspection was completed by Burgess and Nyssa, an external consultant of the Idaho Transportation Department. The consultant's assessment found moderate to severe decay of 22 of the 48 bridge pillars, as well as 5 out of 6 timber piles on the center pier. The consultant for the Idaho Transportation Department provided these findings, and the consultant also gave a technical recommendation to limit the weight capacity of vehicles on the bridge to ACHD staff this morning during a review of the inspection report. The technical recommendation given to ACHD was to limit the load to vehicles under 3 tons or 6,000 pounds. When evaluating this as an agency, we determined that the practicality of limiting travel by a weight this low is not practical. For reference, a larger personal pickup truck can exceed 3 tons. I also would say my minivan fully loaded with people may exceed 3 tons as well. As such, after careful consideration, we determined that it would be safest to close the bridge to all motor vehicles. Pedestrians and bicyclists can still safely use the bridge and will be allowed to do so. ACHD crews have installed road closure signs on the bridge, along with advanced warning signage to help commuters find alternate routes. The immediate detour for the closure will be Warm Springs to Park Center Boulevard to Bound Way, then to Boise Avenue. We have maps available for those here today, and we will post those maps on the website as well. We understand this closure will create challenges for many in our community. We are also impacted as we are your neighbors, and we appreciate your patience and cooperation as we work towards a long-term solution. Our staff has been in communication with the impacted schools, emergency services, dispatch, and the Army Corps of Engineers. Access to Barber Park will be maintained. While we do not yet know the exact timeline for reopening the bridge, declaring it an emergency, which our ACHD Board of Commissioners did earlier today, allows us to accelerate the process. I want to assure the community this is a top priority for our staff. In fact, our team members already have had meetings today to begin planning the project and can report that work has already begun. To give a little background on the Eckert Road Bridge, it was built in 1954. This bridge is unique in Ada County with its wood piles. Regularly scheduled inspections of the bridge have been completed every 2 years through ITD. An extra inspection of the bridge was done in 2019 after a member of our team learned about a new inspection process that specifically tests the internal condition of the wood piles. The result of that inspection in 2019 did not indicate any major concerns. The same type of inspection was done again in 2024 through ITD's inspection process. The result of that specific inspection showed significant change to the integrity of the wood. At this time, we do not know what may have caused that shift. From previous inspections, we knew the bridge would need to be replaced in the future. Plans for that project were already in place, put into place several years ago, and we were working with the consultant on design. This new information has accelerated that process. We consider this discovery in advance of a catastrophic event a success in the inspection process. I want to thank the Idaho Transportation Department as well as ACHD engineers and project team for their work to make this determination and the work that we'll continue to do together to find the best path forward. Again, we are committed to transparency and keeping the public informed as we move forward. A web page has been added to our site where inspection reports, recordings, and updates will be posted as they become available. You will be able to find those and subscribe for updates at achdIdaho.org/Eckert Bridge. In closing, I will reiterate the safety of the public is our top priority. We are taking every possible measure to address the situation as swiftly and efficiently as possible. We appreciate your understanding and support as we work to ensure a safe and reliable bridge for the future. Thank you, and I'll now take any questions you may have. Yes, sir.
How did it get to this level?
That is the question we are trying to answer. Yes, the question was, how did it get to this level so quickly from our previous evaluations? We don't know. We don't know the answer at this time. All we know is what the results are showing us today, which led us to make the recommendation determination that was done. Yes. Yeah, based on prior evaluations of the bridge, we didn't see that it was at this accelerated time frame. We were just in the process of starting a concept design and evaluating what would be the best path forward and what would be that timing. We anticipated at some point in the next 5 to 7 years replacing the bridge. Yes.
That price tag, I believe, this change that price tag at all?
So the question was, does this change the price tag of the cost of the project? We don't know yet, as we just have made this recommendations and met today with our crews. We will make sure that the consultant and all information about this are shared openly. We'll share those through our commission meetings and on the website. Ultimately, when you accelerate a project, there can be some additional costs, but there also can be some savings through this process as well. So we'll make sure that that's fully transparent moving forward.
Just to follow up on that, do you have any idea where that money might
Yeah, so the question is, where will funding come from? ACHD, in working with our partners, has established some form of reserves, but we'll also be looking to some additional funding that may become available through the state. The state has funding set up for bridges, and that may be something that we can pursue in helping fund this project. But ultimately, we also may have to look at reallocating or delaying other projects in order to address this. So the question was what projects may be delayed if this were the case. It's still too early to answer that. We will have an answer to that in the near future, but at this point in time, we don't know. We will be looking for projects though that would have cost in next year. So we'll be able to answer that question more in the upcoming weeks. The question was, can you see any decay on the bridges? We do have an inspection report that has some photos involved that will be made available on our website. That said, the majority of the issues that we're seeing are internal to the piers. So it's structural inside the piers, and that's not necessarily readily available to the human eye. So it was a different type of testing that tested the internal strength of those piers where we found the issues. The question was, how is that testing done? Yes, very, very much along those lines. That it's, how do you drill it? Do you drill into the pier? Yes. The simple answer is yes. you do insert something into the pier that tests the strength and the resistance pushing into that pier. The question was, did that help lead to decay? No, that's how it was discovered. That would have been how we got to that point. Yes. About 7,000. So how many people travel over the bridge every day? About 7,000, a little over that. Yes. The question is, how's that impacted over the summer months? Absolutely. We see a major increase with the float season and the events that happen at Barber Park, as this is immediately adjacent to that. Do you know the number of that visit the park or?
No, it's over 1,200 vehicles daily at Barber Park float on the busiest weekend days, but it's also a shuttle service. There's an active percent. It's an increase from this.
So yeah, the answer was that they may see an increase of about 1,200 into the park of vehicles. Further questions?
So, what are you kind of advising those residents on that bridge? Seems that they keep walking on it, with this no vehicles. And I guess, what is the kind of message to the residents in that area as far as using like one of their cars to kind of divert in that area, but also just walking on that bridge?
So the question is, what's the message to those in that area? First and foremost, thank you for your patience. We feel it as well, and we know that this is impactful to you. We ask for your patience and cooperation with the detour routing. It is safe to cross by walking or on foot, but we ask that you avoid going around any closures or detours, and to allow us to work on this and expedite the process as quickly as we can to get it replaced.
It just seems like, Idaho, this might be kind of closer to some people. Given that this bridge has been inspected, was there anything that was potentially missed in previous inspections that might have led to the urgency of this close?
So the question was there anything missed in previous inspections? The answer at this point in time is no. We have done inspections as expected on an every 2-year basis. This is the same process ITD uses for all bridges throughout the state. It's ultimately the inspection process is working, and we have results that came out that showed deterioration that was unexpected, and so we're acting according to that information that we have. Yes.
So I know there's some anchors from there. Has there been any? Would you guys be working on that intersection as well?
So the question was the intersection of Boise Avenue and Eckert, and would we be looking at that? Absolutely. That's what the concept study was intended to do initially, was to look at that, to look at access under the bridge for the green belt. That's been a question that's come up over the prior years, as well as how do we align it in a way that makes that work better and is the safest for the public. Our commitment to looking at that does not go away through this process. We'll be exploring all options in terms of how do we get it reopened as quickly as possible, but how do we also make it the best long term? Because when you build a bridge, you build it for a very long time. And we want to make sure that this investment that we're making at a much accelerated pace now is going to be good for the public for many years to come. Any further questions? Okay, well, thank you for coming today, and we appreciate it. We will make sure that all Additional information is available to you as soon as possible and as soon as it's available. And with that, we'll adjourn. Thank you.